At the height of the Irish economic boom, there were over 90,000 airports in Ireland. This number represented an airport for every 44 people living here. That number is halved in the post-Celtic Tiger years, and the country is now littered with ghost airport terminals. One airport that has survived the downturn is Three Counties International.
Hi there, we're hoping to check in for knock.
Right. Did you have any documentation in that?
There you are.
What do you call yourselves when you're at home?
Do you mean what are our names? They should be on the piece of paper I've just given you.
Right. And it's just the three of you that are travelling, is it?
That is correct.
At New Bliss Municipal Airport, 53 kilometres away in North County Monaghan, a battle of wits is taking place.
Surely you can do something for me, Aloysius. You've helped me out in the past. Will you have a word with your boss or something?
I've told you twice now, hey. We've taken your hens, we've taken your pigs, we've taken a half dozen sheep, but we have to draw the line at cows. I mean, how do you expect us to fit a cow in the whole of a plane?
I'm having a lot like this, so I am. First of all, you let me down. Then Pascal tells me where to go. And now this. For fuck's sake.
Now, do you have any of them things you do put on a plane? What's this they call them again?
Do you mean luggage?
Luggage is right. Jesus, me head's astray. I've been in 5 hours and already I've served about 6 people.
Don't listen to the gobshite. If he's checked in 6, it includes your 3.
So can you check us in or not?
Right then, let's recap. There's 3 of you travelling. Where did you say you were off to again?
Knock Airport. God, is it any wonder you've only checked in 3 people today?
I wouldn't be listening to her. It's at least 3.
Whatever. Just give us our boarding passes and we'll be on our way.
Stole the ball a wee minute and don't be putting me under any unnecessary pressure. I have to ask you security questions and that if you'll just bear with me a minute. Right. Firstly, what do you have in your bags?
What sort of question is that?
And is it just clothes or you wouldn't have anything in there that you could... Maybe you wouldn't have any explosives like dynamite or something sharp or a gun or anything like that?
Of course not.
While over at Annagassan Air Traffic Tower, the controller has some sad news for a friend.
Of course you hear who died. You and me used to go to the school with him. Mammy and me was over at the home house to pay our respects earlier. Was he laid out? He was. And how did he look? Well, I thought he looked better than any time we seen him when he was alive. Mammy beats gas, says her to me in the car afterwards. That's one advantage of overdosing and echinacea. Come here, I'm gonna have to let you go. There's someone on the other line. You wanted what? Oh, you want to land, do you? What's your altitude? Right, well, swing around and land at your own convenience.
Back at Three Counties, and check-in agent Pascal appears to be making progress.
Right, well, that concludes that part of the process. Now on to seat selection. Where do you want to sit, girls? Do you want aisles or windows or middle seats or what?
3 together is fine.
Front, back, or the middle of the plane?
We don't mind. We're just eager to get on. We've already been standing here 40 minutes.
Just calm down now and take a deep breath. Consent to me is obliged to ask these questions. They're not for the good of our health.
What's you again? What do you want? What do you mean runway lights? Do you think this is fucking Heathrow or something? No. Take on your full beams. Just keep her between the water and the mountains and you'll be fine. Have you ever come across a bigger bunch of fucking amateurs in all your life?
Sorry, madam, but I think your travel agent might have made a mistake. I put your name into the Shannon flight, but nothing's coming up.
That's probably because we're travelling to Knock.
Knock is right. Jesus, Pascal, you wake up and try and concentrate for 2 minutes. Righto, here we go. Insert flight number. Now insert names. What am I doing wrong, Concepta? The names isn't going in for me.
Where are your passengers flying to, Pascal?
They're on the next one to Knock.
Sure we don't fly to Knock. The only airline I can think of is Monaghan Mushroom Air from Emmyvale.
Well, you heard it with your own 2 ears, girls. You may get yourselves on a bus. my name is Pascal and I come from a wee border townland called Muckerbyug. I'll be 39 on my next birthday and I live in that wee cottage over there. It's only on a half-acre of land, but would you believe it actually straddles 3 different counties. The Pantries in Monaghan, the Jackses in Louth, and the coal bunker out the back in County Armagh.
That's quite incredible. So when people ask you where you're from, what do you tell them?
I tell them I haven't a clue. Well, me and Pascal met up over at the school when we were 4 years old. On the day in question, if my memory serves me right, Pascal had a big bag of marbles and everyone was trying to win them off him.
He must have been good if he'd a big bag of marbles.
Now I don't precisely know how he came by the marbles. He certainly didn't win them, and come the end of break, Pascal was bawling his eyes out, and the empty bag was blowing about in the breeze.
So he enjoyed games, did he?
He did, surely. He just wasn't any good at them.
And as he got older, were there any sports Pascal had a flair for? I mean, was he accomplished at anything in particular?
If he was accomplished at anything at all, it was losing.
I've been told we're breaking for lunch now, men, but before we go, can you tell me what those barrels are doing there?
With where we're living, you never know what you're going to discover when you look out the window in the morning. What do you reckon, Morris? We better get on to the Environmental Agency again, see if they can send somebody over to pick these up. So look at the bright side, Pascal. At least these ones is upright. Remember last week when your alarm wasn't working and you asked us to get you up? You were that deep in toxic waste we had to get a subaqueous unit from Lake Mucknow to come and rescue you.
Changes are afoot at Annagassan Airport, where due to refurbishments, the air traffic tower has moved to temporary accommodation. Principal Controller Larry Finnegan is watching an American registered Learjet, which appears to have stalled just short of the terminal.
Do I have eyes on you? If you mean do I see you, of course I see you. I'm looking at you here now. Can I get someone to come out and move the farmyard animal that's preventing your aircraft from reaching its stand? Firstly, we don't have any stands. Just park anywhere. And secondly, that's not a farmyard animal. That's a cockerel. It's not like it's a herd of cattle or something. What do you mean it's sticking its chest out at you? It's an alpha male that thinks you're a bigger bird trying to move in its plot. Stick on your reverse thrust and blow it out of the way.
Back at 3 counties, and Pascal's intuitive sense is telling him something's not quite right with one passenger's documents.
I'm looking at your passport here and the date of birth says the 3rd of June this year. Are you trying to take me for some sort of idiot or what?
I had my passport renewed in June. Is that not the date of issue you're looking at?
In view of the new facts that have now come to light, I'm happy to accept your explanation.
How are you getting on now that your mammy's gone, Pascal?
It's a bit of a disaster, to be honest with you. For me tea last night I tried to grill an egg and you want to see the mess.
I thought you were boiling a big shoulder of bacon at the weekend. Have you none of that left or what?
I did indeed, Concepta, but when I went to get it from the cupboard last night there was some bang off it. It was foul, to say the least.
Don't tell me you kept it in the cupboard. Is your fridge not working or something?
Sure, why would I put it in the fridge? 'Twould only get cold.
I've known Pascal since we were nippers. He was 2 years ahead of me when he started at the school and 2 years behind me when he left.
So Pascal, what? Must have stayed back 4 times.
Well, no, I myself stayed back twice, which I guess means Pascal stayed back 6 times.
What are your thoughts, Vincey, on the unscrupulous fuel launderers that keep leaving barrels of waste on Pascal's land?
No, I wouldn't be one to hang anyone, but it's unusual how every time new waste appears, Pascal's spud reserves get a wee boost.
Surely you're not suggesting that Pascal's turning a blind eye to the diesel launderers in return for Care's pinks?
To be perfectly honest with you, I can't stand gossip mongrels, and yet if Pascal isn't in on things, that fousty looking mate of his definitely is.
I've always had a soft spot for young Slowy. He never gives any lip, and his uncle was the best drink driver I ever got in a car with.
And what do you think to the situation of toxic waste and bags of new potatoes being periodically left on his land.
Well, as you probably sense yourself, Pascal was never the brightest child at the nursery, but at the same time he'd never be as daft as to dump waste on his own land.
Now, while I can't state categorically how bags of new potatoes appear to accompany each consignment of toxic sludge, I do have one theory. There's a fairy ring not 200 yards from Pascal's house.
And so there may well be an elves and a shoemaker scenario taking place, with Pascal being the metaphorical poor shoemaker and moonlighting these launderers, the elves.
In the absence of Concepta, who has a dental appointment, Pascal has been tasked with manning check-in single-handedly.
Right, Pascal, I'm off down to the gate. Now all you need to do when this flight closes is put up the flight close sign. Can you do that? Right, you be Huey. Actually, I might just pop up now in case I forget. What's the point in putting it up when there are still people left to check in? Do you want to cause mayhem? Right, I'll wait until the last person is checked in and then I'll put up the sign. No, Pascal, you're not listening to me. Wait till the flight closes and then put up the sign. I mean, what if someone who has no reservation arrives to buy a ticket before the flight closes? Well then, I'll just tell them they're late. So how'll they be late if they arrive before the flight closes? I think you're making things unnecessarily complicated. The only person around here who unnecessarily complicates things is you, Pascal. Christ on a bike, I'll ring you from the gate the minute the flight closes. You can put the sign up then.
Coola boola.
I'm sorry to trouble you, Concepta, but you're going to have to cancel that appointment. He's driving me to distraction, and it's only a matter of time before he puts us out of business. Are you having a nice for your tea tonight?
Didn't I tell you I wasn't talking to you?
I might just get myself a meal for one from the Powerdle station in Ballykelly.
How long is it now since your mother died, Pascal?
Oh, Jesus, Mammy's not dead, Concepta. She's above in the nursing home in Mucker Hill.
And if you don't mind me asking, what age of a woman would Mammy be?
56 on her next birthday.
Does she have a condition or something?
Not at all. I got up one morning and Mammy was gone, and there was a note on the table saying that spending the next 30 years surrounded by incontinent people and the permanent stench of death was more appealing than another 30 years with me.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Morris. Are you looking forward to the parade?
I'm going to no parade. If I'm outside for more than 5 minutes, I get claustrophobia.
And what do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I've been signing on for 20 years, which I'm sure you can appreciate is a disheartening state of affairs. And so I try to keep my spirits up by doing a bit of this and that.
A bit of this and that seems to be a popular pastime around here.
Are you doing in McIntyre or something? I thought this documentary was about Pascal.
As it happens, the documentary's primary focus is the ailing Irish airline industry post-Celtic Tiger, but I must confess, we have undeniably become drawn to Pascal's character.
He's a grand wee fella, alright. In many ways it's hard not to like him.
I fully agree, but on another note, I see the fuel launderers have been back.
What worse diesel has to do with either Pascal or the Irish airline industry is beyond me. That's it. I'm not answering any more of your questions.
Mother of buck, Vincent, I've all these planes coming in from America and there's nowhere to put them all. I've had to stick a 747 in the Patsy McGettigan field, which is a 2-mile walk from the terminal here.
Would you not be inclined to lock up the shed and head straight to the pub? Sure, it's St. Paddy's Day too.
Don't get me started, sure, a lock of Yank Masonettes appear earlier, dripping in feckin' pig story and wanting to know where their luggage was. I mean, do I look like a baggage loader?
Where in the name of Jesus, Pascal, did you find that hat? Not to mention the brogues. With regards to the brogues, you helped me choose them yourself at Christmas. And as for the hat, well, it was blown around Clark Station when you were picking up the train tickets. Thought it might have belonged to a lucky leprechaun or that.
I can't believe, Pascal, we were the only 2 fees that didn't get on that bus.
But on the upside, at least we can stretch out in comfort now. How much did them tickets cost us on you? 25 knots ahead. That'll leave me with about 420, which covers a pint and no more. What about yourself? I was counting me tins there, the jacks, leave 265 left. What'll we do? Will we get a can each, rub it off license, drink it and then get the next train home or what? I don't honestly know, Pascal, what we should do. I mean, that collar were going straight to me head, so, well, you say we just get off the train, we'd find an old pub with a bit of crack going on and sure make a pint last till as long as we can and sure we'll take it from there. Bit quiet here tonight, wouldn't you agree, Mr. Bartender? Yeah, well, everybody comes down about like 8:30 in the morning. They let their kids run wild for a while and then they go out and they watch the parade and then with arrests and fights and sort of drugs going to their head and they're all out here by 2. Did you make it down for the march? No, we've only come for the day, but we miscalculated how much everything costs here in the big smoke. And I think we'll be traipsing home sooner than we planned.
Well, hi there, guys. Can you tell me if this is a real Irish bar? All the others I've been in have been full of drunk, pregnant women and alcoholic Neanderthals.
This is about as Irish as you'll get, yeah, bud.
In that case, I'd be happy to keep your glasses topped in exchange for a few lines of poetry, some song, and some old-fashioned Irish blarney.
Flip me, Pascal, we've struck gold. You've been in the company 3 months, Pascal. Lay to me straight. How do you think you'll be getting on? Well, I think I've been doing quite well, considering. Considering what now, exactly? What do you mean, considering what? Doing quite well, do you mean considering the circumstances and such? Well, no, I mean, people say considering at the end of sentences to sort of help kill time. They don't mean anything by it. A bit like, so I am, or you know, that kind of way. So do you mean to tell me you think you're progressing well? I suppose I am. You know, that kind of way. Let me enlighten you to some figures, if I may. In December, Concepta checked in 1,432 passengers. You, for the same period, managed a mere 46. If we were to compare like for like, Concepta was 31 times more productive than you over the course of that month. Sure, how's that comparing like for like? Concepta was on leave for 2 weeks in December. You've 2 weeks to prove yourself, and I'll be watching you like a hawk. Sorry to bother you, but do you know if that's the plane to Clonhead? I wouldn't have a notion, Vic. All these planes, they look the same to me. But sure, there only is one plane.
Over at Midloud Regional Airport, and Miles Sorahan is busy tending to passengers' baggage needs.
No, that's definitely not her. Mine was more like a Jersey racing cross.
Do you mean like a mongrel?
You better watch your mate, hey. That cow's the best friend a man could make. Her and me's been through an awful lot together.
So why do you think that they want to get rid of you?
I think it's 'cause I'm coming to the end of me probation period, and if they're going to make me full time, they'll have to stump up the extra bucks.
And what are you on at the moment, if you don't mind me asking?
At the minute I'm on €2 an hour.
And if they were to make you permanent, what hike and dough would we be talking about?
We're talking at least 5 cents on top of the €2.
Right, let's see if we can work this out. 5 goes into €2, 40 times, so that's €40 in a week, multiplied by 52 weeks a year. Jeez, you wouldn't be looking much change out of 8 grand.
Well, when you put it like that, Morris, it's plain to see Kiwi would never cough up that kind of money.
Back at Midlouth Regional, and Miles has a confession to make.
I'll not lie to you. I think at this stage in the day it's safe to say that we'll never find that cow again. How about we just give you this one here?
Oh, no, Jesus. Go on then, so if that's the best you can do.
Give me a minute and I'll just get the paperwork.
How you feeling? You'll never guess what. You remember that inflatable cow we bought in the drug shop in Listener Street? So I've inflated it today and settled it in the flight. I'm just off at the other end and I've picked it up and I've deflated it. Then I've gone to the desk and told the boy I think he's lost me cow. He's only going to give me another one. Sure enough, he's going to get the forms now for me to fill out. Can you believe it? I'm like a model day car losser.
What do you reckon, Pascal? Couple of bags of chips be just the ticket for a bit of soakage.
Well, I haven't a stitch of food in the house, so this bit of grub will have to double up as me supper and me breakfast.
Oh no, Pascal, I think that since your mammy moved out, you've gone to seas.
I have to confess I've let myself go recently. I haven't had any clean clothes in as long as I can remember. Sure, do you see this little dicky bow here? Apart from that, I'm essentially wearing my work uniform. For that's the only clothes that I have that aren't leaping.
Well, I was going to say something earlier, but I thought better of it. Jesus, Pascal, how did it come to this that you don't even have a clean pair of socks in the house?
Well, I was watching this documentary once that said if you never washed your hair, it would eventually wash itself, and I was kind of hoping the same might apply to clothes.
If you don't mind me saying, Pascal, you're looking rather dapper this morning.
Me and Morris had a good chat last night, at the end of which I decided to get me act together. So we got up at the crack of dawn and went into a laundrette in Dundalk with 9 bags of washing.
Fair play, Pascal. I wish you every success. Now, I can't help but notice the waste has completely vanished and yet you've more spuds than ever.
I'm sure Pascal won't mind me telling you this, but he wasn't just neglecting his appearance this past few months. He was also neglecting such things as his post and what have you. He was afraid to open it for fear of what bills might be inside, and as such a number of letters escaped his attention, one being from the Environmental Agency.
As this wee townland is roughly halfway between Cavan and Greenore from where the waste is shipped to Europe for processing, Cavan Corporation was dropping their stuff here and Loud was picking it up, or so they were meant to be anyhow. Cavan people do be notoriously careful with money, you have to understand, and if they can save a few bob and patterdle, then great.
I'm utterly bamboozled, gents. And what about all the potatoes?
Another letter was from the greengrocers in Enniskeen where Pascal did a big shop at Christmas. He put his name in the free draw for a year's supply of spuds. Forgot about it almost instantly. And you don't have to be Inspector Clouseau to work out what happened after that.
So much for the fuel launderers then. The rumours you hear, eh?
The rumours is right. Personally, I feel someone here owes someone an apology.
No, he's right, lads. I should never have implicated those poor innocent fairies.
It's not you that needs to be apologising, Sergeant.
I was out of order, Morris. Please accept my humblest apologies. Perhaps I can buy you chaps a slab of calibre to help celebrate new beginnings.
And what about a slab of porter for the sergeant for wasting police time?
Oh, go on then, if you can't beat them. It's our last day in Ireland, and a bushy-tail Pascal is determined to prove he's got what it takes to be part of the team at Three Counties Airport.
I'm sorry, sir. Could you repeat that reference for me?
That's Q for Huey, as in me boss Huey. L for elephant. S for be crikey, you can't think of anything beginning with S. C for seagull. And number 7. Or is it an 8? You'll have to forgive me, I can't read my own writing. What did you say? You tried both, the 7 and the 8, but none of them references work. I must have written it down wrong, I'll have to ring you back.